It's a rainy Tuesday morning at Brussels Airport. The parking lot is filling up as row after row of dark SUVs pull into green spots. These vehicles have battery packs and charging ports. But if you look closely at the charging stations, 3 out of 5 cables are hanging untouched. The actual cords meant to power these cars are sitting coiled inside their trunks. By 2025, European new car sales show hybrids absorbing 34.5% of the market, overtaking pure petrol and electric models. Within this surge are plug-in hybrids at 9.4%, vehicles running on a battery for short trips, and a combustion engine for everything else. There is an inherent contradiction in how these cars are being used. Owners often purchase them to secure green tax benefits, yet because of the lack of charging, the heavy combustion engine carries the load of the daily work. This creates a disconnect where a vehicle can maintain the legal status of an electrified car while its physical operation remains tied to fossil fuels. To understand how we got here, we have to look at the theoretical defense of the hybrid, pioneered in 1997 with the Toyota Prius. This single technological bet scaled into a massive corporate strategy. By 2025, Toyota had sold 25 million hybrids globally, including 6 million in Europe alone. This diagram maps out their core argument, the multi-pathway approach. The minerals required to build one large battery for a pure electric car can be divided to equip 6 to 8 hybrids. If all 6 hybrids save 20 to 30% on fuel, they collectively prevent more carbon emissions than a single pure EV. While that math works in a laboratory setting, the equation changes the moment a 2.5-ton luxury SUV rolls out of the dealership and never gets plugged into a wall. Real-world data from 127,000 tracked vehicles shows actual plug-in hybrids emit 135 grams of CO2 per kilometer on the street. Compare that to petrol cars at 166 grams. Instead of an 80% reduction, actual savings are closer to 19%, and the discrepancy is widening. In 2021, real-world emissions from these vehicles were 3.5 times higher than lab values. By 2023, they were off by a factor of 5. The tracking data points directly to specific models where these laboratory claims fail most significantly. The plug-in Mercedes GLE, for example, shows a massive real-world emissions deviation of 611% above its official laboratory rating. These heavy SUVs use the hybrid categorization as a legal alibi, functioning as oversized combustion vehicles while their owners collect green subsidies. A decade ago, the European auto industry was caught using illegal software to cheat emissions tests during the Dieselgate scandal. Today, the strategy has shifted from software to policy. Lobbyists are now focusing on the mathematical utility factor, the specific regulatory formula used by the European Commission to calculate plug-in emissions. The central argument in this push is technological neutrality. It is a phrase used to ensure that heavy, high-margin hybrid SUVs remain legally compliant within the green transition. This lobbying pivot moved the pressure from the factory floor to the negotiating table, prioritizing the redefinition of environmental laws over the redesign of the vehicles themselves. This campaign achieved its final result in the offices of the European Commission. On December 16, 2025, a new automotive package was presented that effectively reversed the direction of European climate policy. The landmark target of a 100% ban on new combustion engines by 2035 was dropped to a 90% goal. That 10% margin allows hybrids and offset combustion cars to stay in showrooms for the foreseeable future. While the Commission announced a €1.8 billion battery booster fund, the primary impact of the day's policy change was the regulatory concession to fossil fuel propulsion. The integration of these loopholes into European law ensures that the combustion engine remains a permanent fixture of the industrial landscape, rather than a technology being phased out.